Take one. Hey, what's up? It's Taylor.
Hey, what's up? It's Kathy.
Hey, what's up? It's Taylor.
And that's the three of us. So we are all a little bit happier today because we are back in the Renegade finally. It came back like Thursday, I want to say. Basically, I posted that other video the other day saying that I didn't know when I was going to get my Jeep back. In fact, this is what I said. As of right now, I am not even sure if I'm going to get my Renegade back this week or next week or before Christmas, before the end of the year. I don't know. So as you can see, I made a pretty bold statement that I didn't think I'd get the car back by the end of the year or Christmas or anything like that. And literally later on that day, I got the car back. So what ended up happening? Well, for those of you just tuning in who haven't been following this, it is currently today, December 16th, and somewhere around Halloween, like the weekend before Halloween, my Jeep started making a strange noise up front, and it was like a weird metal-on-metal grinding noise, and I didn't know what it was. I just assumed it was like, at the time, to me, it sounded like a brake rotor or suspension rubbing on something, but I couldn't really tell. So I tried getting my brother to listen to it with me, but it would only happen when the car was cold and when you were moving. So it wasn't a sound that made when you just steered the wheel while you're parked. You had to be physically moving forward and turning, and also when it was cold. So the car would warm up, I'd get home, I'd ask my wife, could you come outside and listen to it? Well, we couldn't hear anything because it wasn't making the noise. Anyway, I brought it to the dealer, and for those of you who have not watched the videos about this initially, the first trip to the dealer, I was basically turned away because the people that worked that night were like oil change guys, and they couldn't visually see anything wrong. So because they couldn't see anything wrong, they told me come back Saturday. So I came back Saturday. When I went back Saturday, they were too busy to come out and look at it, but a service tech rode with me, heard the noise, and said there's definitely something wrong, but it's not a safety issue, so we can't give you a loaner, and you have to leave and take your car with you or walk home. Not wanting to walk home, I left and took my car with me to then bring it back on Monday. And when I brought it back that Monday, they were supposed to look at it Tuesday morning after leaving it sit overnight out in the cold so they could hear the noise. And at that point, when they first thought that they knew what the issue was, they replaced the axle and hub, and they said that didn't fix the problem. Now, disclaimer here, I'm going to tell you, this noise I was hearing was definite metal-on-metal grinding, and whatever they replaced may have stopped that. However, when they put the car back down after replacing that, they thought there was something wrong with the strut mount. So they ordered a part for that, but because the part wouldn't be in for a couple of days, they let me pick the Jeep up. So I had it for a few days, brought it back. Then, when they went to fix that, it didn't solve whatever vibration issue they heard, which I never brought up a vibration issue. That was not something I said, hey, this has to get fixed, it's vibrating, and I don't know. I never said that. So they wanted to fix that issue too. So at that point, they ordered more parts. I left the country, came back, car still wasn't fixed. 4 or 5 weeks had elapsed over the time that the noise was initially, the grinding noise initially started with me. And they told me that they wouldn't know when the car would be fixed because they have a tech coming out to look at it. Well, the day that the tech was supposed to be there was the day I got the call saying that my Jeep was fixed. So Jeep was fixed, it was done. And I asked the guy, so what happened? What was wrong with it? What did you do? I mean, the last thing you guys had told me was like you thought it might be body panels or I don't even know what. Well, it was a motor mount. The motor mount on the passenger side of the engine was I don't know, damaged something. I don't even know how that would have happened because I don't beat on this thing. I don't drive it like a you-know-what. I don't off-road it. I don't do anything that I would think would harm that. I've had motor mounts go bad in cars before, but at like 80 or 100,000 miles, and I was like
a tool bag.
Yeah, because I was like 16 and then just neutral drops and, you know, the typical stuff you do when you're a stupid-ass 16-year-old kid driving a $700 car. But now, I don't know how the thing went bad, but I will say I used to have issues with this, and I probably still will. I don't know, maybe this solved it. But I had issues with this over the winter where in cold weather I'd leave work, start it up, and I'm talking like -10, like really, really bitter cold days. -10 Fahrenheit, by the way. That the thing would like idle and sound like a diesel, like everything shook, and it like wouldn't stop until the thing was like fully up to temperature. It would like kind of go away. Well, I'm wondering if that was the motor mount, if that's going to be something that I'm going to have to deal with this winter too, or if whatever this fix is, fix that while they were at it. So we'll still see for that, because right now it's 46 degrees outside, so it's actually not even cold enough out for any of these things to be an issue at the moment. But basically, the point now is that I do have the Jeep back. It took like 6 weeks, and ultimately the repair for the grinding noise that I heard, I don't even know what that repair ended up being that stopped that noise, because I don't think the motor mount was causing the noise I was hearing. But I guess I just won't know, because they said they replaced a whole boatload of stuff. The receipt they gave me shows a couple of different things they put on, so whatever, it's fixed. I got it back. It's 23,000 miles, and it runs like it did when it was new. And I will say I did miss this thing. I hated driving those Cherokees they gave me. They're just not for me. I love the stick shift. And I know my my daughter Taylor loves this thing. She was like over the moon excited when I came home that night with the Jeep, so she loves it, right? Yeah.
I don't like the color of it.
You don't like the color of it?
No, I do. I do.
She doesn't like the color. No, she does a little bit.
But I missed the Jeepy.
Yeah, she missed the Jeepy. What color do you wish it was?
Orange.
It is orange. Alright, it's late in the day. She's a little tired. So anyway, now it raises the point of a new car thing, which I talked to you guys about before, about the possibility of getting a new car. Well, I'm not even sure what I want. As you know, I've thrown out a bunch of different ideas of things that I think would be cool to have, but I'm not really sure if I want a truck, do I want a sports car, do I want another SUV, do I want a sedan? I don't really know. What I do know is I just turned down the wrong street, so hang on a second. Alright, anyway, turned around here. So, what I do know is I would like something different, and now given this repair problem that took 5-6 weeks to get resolved, and not to mention I'm on the Facebook group for the Renegade, and there's a lot of people who complain about parts availability and things like that, which I don't know if it's just a matter of because these things are made in Italy, because they're Fiats. I don't know if it's a matter that they just don't have parts available anywhere, or if for whatever reason they just don't have the resources to ship parts quicker than 3 weeks. I don't know. But I've heard some stories, some horror stories from people with Renegades that they wait and wait and wait for parts to show up, and it's really aggravating, because if you got to wait that long for your car to come back, you almost wonder, like, what am I making car payments for? So that's kind of got me questioning the long-term life of this Jeep, which I had to look. I don't even know what the standard warranty is on this thing. I don't know if it's 3, 5, 10 year. I have no clue. I really don't pay attention to that when I buy a car, because I haven't had many warranty issues in my life with any new car, or even used cars with warranties that I've bought. So I gotta figure that out. But basically, I want to look at a new car. I want to look at something different, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for the Chicago Auto Show to hit, which is generally in the middle of February, so worst, coldest time of the year, Valentine's Day. I got nothing else going on, so I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to hit up the Chicago Auto Show, just look at everything, see you know, what's out there, what's coming up, what's new, what's changed, what's different, because I definitely would like to see some different things sit in them, you know, like Kia Stinger I mentioned, but I don't know. I hear a lot of good things about those, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. You know, I'm kind of picky, and on top of that, I don't really like driving stuff that I see on the road a lot, which I know this Jeep Renegade, there's like literally hundreds of thousands of them out on the road now, so it's really nothing special, but still, it's the stick shift, so it's the rarer one, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. But I kind of want something different. I want something that doesn't have a huge, you know, following of people. I want something like my SS's, something that not a lot of people have, a little niche car. So we'll see what I see at the auto show, and hopefully there's some stuff going on, some new cars. I mean, I know a few years back I went to the auto show and there was like nothing new and exciting, and it was like, oh, I don't even go to this anymore. But now I think automakers are coming out with some interesting stuff, and I'd like to see some different brands, see some different things, but I don't know.
So you mentioned today is December 16th. It's Uncle Bill's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday, Uncle Bill.
So happy birthday, Uncle Bill. Thank you again for letting us drive and review your CL55. If you haven't watched that video, go see it. The car's a lot of fun. Yeah, what do we got coming up? We got Christmas coming up.
Janice's birthday.
My other daughter, Janice, who
He's too good for
is too good to be in the video. She's out hanging out with her boyfriend.
She's gonna be 12.
Well, he's a boy, and it's her friend, so she's hanging out with him. But she's not here. But we got her birthday coming up. We got Christmas coming up. New Year's, her birthday, jam-packed full of other people's parties that don't involve me, because it's not my party. But anyway, we'll see what winter holds for us. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of putting the supercharger on the SS, which you know, maybe I'll do a little review of that and my thoughts on that for the 1 year. But I don't know. Otherwise, we'll see where this winter takes us. I mean, it's supposed to be a cold, snowy one, so hopefully I can get some good videos of this thing driving around in the snow. Probably her Evo in the snow as well, and get you guys some stuff you want to watch. But otherwise, please share this video if you have anybody you know that's looking to get a Jeep Renegade and they're curious to know something about the reliability, because like I said, this warranty issue was a lengthy wait for me and not a lot of answers until the very end when it got fixed. But please share it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like the video. And as always, please subscribe if you don't already, and have a wonderful day.